So if someone's interested in this, what should they do next?
Yeah, basically the easiest thing is, well, first of all, we have an email subscription, like an email circle they can join, but the easiest is this application. And the application is an interesting piece. First of all, it's no obligation with it. So there is an online form that you fill out, and it has two types of questions. One is just the basics so that we can communicate with you. And the other is really like a mini coaching session, asking you already the right questions to get you thinking along. What are your talents? What are your uniqueness? What would being fulfilled at work look like for you? So it's like a coaching process. Now, people must understand we don't take anyone. It's really an application process. It's a carefully selected peer group of 4 to 6. So there's no harm in doing the application. Result could be you might be accepted, and then you still have 48 hours to say, no, thank you, step aside, or yes, I'm up for it, and then you commit. So that's basically the next step. This application form takes 20 minutes to fill out. If you want to do it quickly without those coaching questions, it's 10 minutes. If you want to give it more time, maybe half an hour. But that already will probably set some light bulbs off in your brain. One question, for instance, is what you are good at doing. That's great. What gives you the most energy? Much more important. So you're good at 5 things, but 2 give you more energy and 1 gives you the most energy. Aha. So where does this lead you in your career, in your future business life? So there's some great questions. So really click on the link for the application, dig in, fill out, send it off, and see whether you are accepted or not. There's no obligation at this stage.
So nice. A few more questions. One is, what would you say is the ROI? What is the cost, and what would you say is the ROI?
Okay, perfect. With the cost, because it also may vary. I don't want to give a ballpark figure. You can see it on the website. But let's say it's a month's salary, which is not little. And that's what that much a month? Yes. But in a way, what is the return on investment? I sometimes say this: if you have a person fulfilling their potential to a certain level and getting paid in return amount X, yeah, if that person would be fully engaged and really highly excited about the work, they would perform at a different level. Chances are they get compensated at a different level over time. So the question is, to get you from here to there, how much is it worth to you? Sometimes what I say, okay, what are you making right now? What could you be making a year from now? Just roughly. If you would be really fully engaged, on target, excited. If that is a higher figure, the difference between now and that times 12 is, in a way, money that you leave on the table, you could say. What do I mean? If I would make 500, 600 more because I'm more on target, times 12, so the tuition fee is a fraction of that cost. So let's call it at the moment a month's salary. Have a look what it is when you see this website. Return on investment, really knowing that you are on target, having clarity about your talents, having maybe even a pitch for your stakeholders. Look, this is what I can do. This is what I'm excited about. This is the value for the company. This is the role I've seen for myself. You have something solid. You have maybe a storyboard that you can tell your story in a compelling way. You have a different way to reach out to your clients. The business owner has maybe a complete different pitch from his offering. It can have different ways. You save time, you create more revenue, you are better at negotiations. The list is long. We've got a question and answer section where there's quite a few ways listed how can people create a return on investment. Maybe even as far as you know that you are in your business and that's your role, it doesn't fulfill you. Now you start a complete offline project, a separate project outside of work, completely different. And that gives you the energy that you are happy in life, but it wouldn't be the one replacing your work. So all of a sudden, you are more fulfilled at work because you've got this extra thing going on at the sideline that you are excited about. It doesn't all have to be workplace related. Yeah. So we asked this right from the beginning, what would the ROI mean for you? How can you measure? And are you on target? So we monitor that the ROI is achieved from each member of the group. It's not like a promise in the beginning and see how you do. It's really like it has to pay back what you put in terms of time and money.
Great. So let's let's wrap up now. I just have one more question for you. You and I have a friend in common that I consider a business poet, and he's an excellent writer. He's an excellent speaker. It's business poet is my term. It's not what he calls himself. He's an excellent marketer, and he's excellent at helping people build companies and get results from their businesses. Yeah. And he sometimes talks about being an artist, but it always has very practical outcomes. And I know you use the phrase business artist. So I was curious about that, the phrase business artist, and what does that actually mean within the program? Like, let's say we were in one of these groups together. What does business artist mean, and how would we interact? What are some things that I would ask you or you would ask me, or just if you could say more about business artists and what that actually means within the group?
Yes. Well, first of all, why did I throw this in? We always look for metaphors. You know, the person you mentioned, great on stage, great poet, visuals. So I was thinking, what would be a visual that actually does this process justice? Find your talents, become fully engaged, and as a result, remarkable. And if you look at an artist, whatever art it is, yeah, they're really like, once they're in a creative process, they are fully involved in it. And of course, they hope to be exhibited, expositions here, there, everywhere. And they don't see it as work, they just express themselves. Okay, we also know that artists don't get discovered overnight, it's a process. And then I started to Google and I found some quotes from the greatest artists. Okay, Picasso is high up there. Picasso said, every child is an artist. I thought, well, that's a good start. So we all are. He says, the problem is how to remember once we're growing up. Yeah. So here's the idea. Every one of us, including the persons watching this, has some talents in there that can be brought out like an artist. Throw it on the canvas, let it out, see what happens. Let it engage you. And if you are on target and you do it with passion, the remarkable piece will come on its own. So I coined it business artist because it's business related. You don't have to brush with paintbrush. It's your words, it's your thoughts, it's your concepts. Then I thought, okay, Picasso's one shot, who else? And long and behold, one of the most known artists worldwide, Andy Warhol, very controversial figure, because he said art is what you can get away with. Yeah. So does it have to be an 8-hour detailed, or can it just be, okay, this is a tomato soup tin and I'm eating it and that's art. Yeah, so art is what you can get away with. He also says doing business successfully is the most fascinating art there is. So therefore the idea is self-expression in the Global Village Leaders Club, like an artist, free of boundaries, just let it out in a peer group and see where it takes us. And hopefully we can make a statement that we are proud of. People are make remarks about it, and we achieve targets. We are a happier person. So that's the business artist. It's a great metaphor, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you, Thomas. It was a great discussion on the Global Village Leaders Club, and I look forward to hearing more.
Yes, thank you also for taking the time. Also, what I find fascinating, the different time zones. I'm in the UK and you are in New York, yeah? And what we do know is the applicants will come in as they do from all different time zones. And it's not just me, it's a team of associates, of coaches. And I think we can make a difference over time, and we can do it in different time zones. So let's see what the future holds. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Take care, my friend.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Click on the link to fill out the application. It's your chance to get on the waiting list and possibly accepted. There is no commitment at this stage. It's a selection process of carefully matched peer groups. Don't forget to subscribe to our email circle. The application has great questions, like a free mini coaching session how to discover your talents to become fully engaged and remarkable. Once accepted, you have 48 hours to commit or step aside from the waiting list.